Welcome to Cognition, where our conceptual cogs interact in concert, like clockwork. The definition of cognition is the act or process of knowing, not simply the awareness of something, but also critical thinking about its elements and the relationship between them. In a very real sense, this is a drawing of strategy to help both leaders and employees see at a glance an overview of how things work together to create a different, more intentional future, one unique to Redeemer Health and Life. It is the illustration of a complex idea through a simple drawing. Cognition just may spark your future. Charles Kettering said, "I am interested in the future because I'm going to spend the rest of my life there." This is true for both an organization and a person, and in a way makes us all futurists. We can't do anything about the past except learn from it, but we can begin to shape the present, to influence our futures. There are two types of futurists, those that predict the future and those that create the future. At Redeemer, because of our mission, which we'll revisit in just a minute, we've always been the second type. We are creators of the future. We are creating our futures every second of every minute of every day, whether we are aware of it or not. If we are aware of it, we can create a more intentionally designed, more ideal future for our organization and for ourselves. In the case of Redeemer Health and Life, our intentions are guided by our mission, which has remained constant and relevant since 1924, to care, comfort, and heal. As women of faith, the sisters provide a healing and hope-filled presence to those in need. The sisters want to impart the healing love of Jesus Christ to all those they meet, whether a patient in the hospital, a resident in the nursing home, or a young mother in the grocery line. The sisters have a rich history as pioneers in health and social services, beginning with their foundress, Mother Alphonse Maria Eppinger, who began caring for sick and poor people in their homes over 150 years ago. Today's sisters have carried on her vision by modernizing home health in the U.S. and giving birth to the uniquely structured Redeemer Health and Life and the innovative Druding Center, a housing program for homeless women and children. The first life care ministry was St. Joseph Manor in 1937. It became home to aging residents who required long-term care. The sisters farmed the adjacent acres to provide the residents with food. In addition to growing food, the sisters are also growing their impact far beyond what they had originally imagined, well beyond the physical. At its highest expression, the mission is spiritual, and it is carried out by helping people discover the gifts that God has given them and then give those gifts to the world in whatever way they can. The sisters' mission is a humble celebration of health care, home care, and life care. Their life's calling is life itself. And as a group, each of us, wherever we work at Redeemer, has taken on that mission as our own. It makes our work special and set apart. A plan may fail, but a mission never does. The mission lives on, and we are on a mission. We are on a mission to create 5 unique futures of our own: the future of talent, the future of learning, the future of story, the future of you, and the future of culture. And because of that, we have a very different relationship with the future. We do not see it as some distant goal, but a reality that is just around the corner, a reality that we ourselves are intentionally helping to come true. And everything we do, every task, every meeting, every person, is focused on bringing the future ever closer. It's simple. The chapter that we write today influences the next chapter, and the next, and the next. And the future we envision is more than just slightly different, more than simply tweaked, more than a little bit improved on. No, it's transformational change on a grand scale. Things that other organizations would never consider doing, we do automatically. We can blend life and work. We can value talent. We can understand the story of not only our organization, but also of our people. We can institute relationships and agreements that foster creativity and synergy. And most importantly, we can transform ourselves in the process. Because the why in our mission is different, everything is different, including all the whats and all the hows. Transformation revolves around awareness, the awareness of a better future, of organizational and individual possibilities. Because of our unique mission and its transformational aspirations, we must choose the path of innovation. This is not an easy path. Many of the ideas we're implementing have never been done before, at least not the way we're doing them. We're charting new territory, exploring new directions. That takes time. And many of our own people, even a few of those who are most vocal and ardent about transformation, can have a difficult time with change when it stares them in the face. But we persevere anyway, because the future we want demands it. The path of innovation is not for everyone. But if the difficult journey is worth it, we must choose this path, and it is worth it. So we have committed ourselves to innovation in 5 distinct areas: talent, learning, story, you, and culture. Let's look at each of these more closely. Talent works both ways. The unique talents each of us have been given are our gifts from God. What we do with them is our gift to God. The truest gift we can ever give is the gift of ourselves. Our collective ability, the unique contribution we can make if we all work together, is bigger than ourselves. When we apply innovation to the idea of talent, we can see immediately the different ways of inviting it, developing it, connecting it, using it, and celebrating it are required. We are passionately committed to continuing our innovation in talent. Meshing with our innovative approach to talent, we must develop an innovative approach to learning. The pounding in of facts so common in education from elementary school through corporate education won't get it done. Learning has too often had the unfortunate perception of being boring, repetitive, and lifeless. And how can we ask our people to learn if learning isn't a joy? If we can instill the joy of learning into our people, then instead of pounding in knowledge, we can draw out the wisdom and passion of our people. This form of learning, the kind that draws out the best from both head and heart, is achieved only through meaningful, connected experiences. That's why we're changing not only what we teach, but how we teach it. If we can innovate in learning, there will be a big turnaround in productivity. What we produce in our work will be greater, and what we produce in ourselves will be greater. Learning interlocks with story. By creating a revolution in both talent and learning, we can turn story loose in the workplace. Each of us is an author of a very important book. The title reads our name, the pages mark our days. Our actions are the ink, our beliefs foretell the ending. It is the unique and important story of our life, and only we determine what is written, what is remembered. When we fully grasp that we are the authors of our own life story and all the power that comes with that, then we will demand more of our work and more of ourselves. Many business futurists agree. Stories can lead us into the future. Stories can shape our strategies. Stories can teach us in ways nothing else can. Stories can inspire us. And when it comes to changing culture or changing the way we do business, a story may be the only thing that works. The only thing. Many companies have experienced a big turnaround because of one simple thing: a story. Spark is a place where our 5 futures go together like clockwork. The innovation in talent, learning, and story can't be an every now and then thing. It needs to be an all the time thing. That's why we built Spark. Spark is, in and of itself, a story structure. The very building tells a story. The walls, the floors, the ceilings, the decor, the individual rooms, each tells a story. Spark is where stories come to life. But Spark is more than just an experiential center. It's a combination of people and place, process and platform that is necessary for innovation to be an everyday resident, not just an occasional visitor at Redeemer. Spark is a place of imagination and possibilities, of translation and transformation. We built Spark as a powerful extension of our mission, a potent examination of our organization, and a personal expression of each of you. Inside Spark, we no longer hold meetings, we create experiences. We no longer hire people, we audition talent. We no longer have agendas, we have stories. Spark has to be experienced to be believed. And we believe that Spark has turned the corner on the future of work. By rotating the future of talent, the future of learning, and the future of story closer to the present, Spark is attracting partners who are committed to the same beliefs and innovations as we are. These valued partners will help us go beyond our abilities to our possibilities. These talented partners will help us build a far bigger capacity than we could ever develop on our own. With great partners, our budget won't be the limit. Only our imagination will. All of these things, our mission, our commitment to transformation, our innovations in talent, learning, and story, our building of Spark, our attraction of partners, is the contribution Redeemer Health and Life is making to the future. It's substantial, it's dependable, it's courageous, and it's not enough. To work at any part of Redeemer, you must be committed to discovering your passions and growing your talents and contributing them to your work and your life. That's not as easy as it sounds because it requires, everything. We believe in a work-life blend where your passions and talents extend through your personal life to your work. No organization, not even one as unique as Redeemer, can spark organizational transformation if it's not first rooted in personal transformation. The future of you helps drive the future of everything at Redeemer, the future of our community, and in a small but important way, the future of the world. You think we're overstating it? Margaret Mead said, "Never doubt that a few committed people can change the world. For indeed, that's all who ever have. And it all revolves around you." Culture is a big topic of discussion these days in organizations in every industry. Many business futurists suggest that culture may be the most important issue of our time. It seems hopelessly complex and wonderfully simple, all at the same time. In its most profound form, culture is nothing more and nothing less than the agreements that organizations and the people who work in them live by. There are bad culture agreements where people don't trust their own organization or their bosses or their fellow employees, and their organizations don't trust them either. The prevailing attitude seems to be putting forth as little effort as possible during the work week. There are good culture agreements, an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. Trust is elevated, though most employees only trust the people they work with most. The prevailing attitude is just work hard and do your job well. But even good culture agreements pale in comparison to vibrant culture agreements. With vibrant culture agreements, work is noble. That's why at Redeemer, we're making such a strong effort to treat both our work and our workers nobly. And it's why our workers are making such a strong effort to give their highest and best to the organization, all the time and every day. In a vibrant culture, there's a basic understanding of how to achieve personal satisfaction, while at the same time understanding the honor of being part of something bigger than yourself. Peter Drucker said, "Culture eats strategy for breakfast." The point being that you can create whatever strategy you want, but if your culture cannot or does not support it, your strategy will never be implemented. Culture always wins. So your most important strategy must be a cultural strategy. No organization will outperform its culture. And because of the large amount of time spent at work, no individual can outperform the culture she works in. Therefore, culture is of vital mutual interest to both the organization and the individual. At its best, everyone at every level feels lucky to be a part of it. Imagine that feeling. Feeling lucky that you get to go to work. Wow. Over the long run, a place can attract and keep extraordinary people only if it is able to intentionally create an extraordinary culture, which is the only way to create an extraordinary future. This profound realization is exactly why Redeemer is committed to innovations in talent, learning, and story. We also ask people who work here to invest more into their own innovative future development, because together it can turn a good Redeemer culture into a vibrant one. Culture can be created. With the power of vibrant culture turning in the right direction, we can turn our 4 biggest operational aspirations into reality. First, we can go beyond being a medical organization to being a health and life organization. One that doesn't just treat the medical problem, one that doesn't just treat the lifestyle that caused the problem, but one that treats and nurtures the life aspiration of the person with the problem. Second, we can go beyond organizations that are completely finance-driven with mindsets based on scarcity to become an organization based on stewardship and partnership with a mindset based on abundance. Third, we can go beyond organizations that offer only competitive wages and standard no special treatment HR practices to become an organization that customizes opportunity for each employee based on their talents, passions, and effort. And finally, we can go beyond organizations that hide mistakes and depend on insurance to cover them up to become an organization that is transparent and trustworthy with everyone, because it constantly learns and continuously designs out the causes of its mistakes. When these operational aspirations are realities, people won't just see our mission on paper, they will see it in action, everywhere. It all started with the mission to care, comfort, and heal. That is still our mission today, and it's taking a wonderful turn into more applications than ever before. Cognition encompasses many moving parts that all work together, like clockwork. So when our partners go first and do what they need to do, and when Redeemer goes first and does what it needs to do, and when you go first and do what you need to do, then the future we want for our organization, the future we want for our family, the future we want for ourselves will shine brightly. Because of this new energy, we are fueling a brighter future. The future of talent, learning, story, you, and culture. A future that we have created together. Redeemer Health and Life, where stories come to life.